everyone, and welcome to this presentation of East Brunswick High School Bears basketball here on East Brunswick Television. John Alba joined alongside by Ken Saroka here at beautiful, scenic East Brunswick High School. Ken, how you doing today?
Good. Happy New Year, John.
Happy New Year to you as well, and it's a new year for the East Brunswick Bears as well. Their first home game of the season here. A slew of away games ending with a string of wins. This one against Woodbridge, 51-40. You got to imagine coming into the first home game of the year, that's got to feel good.
And it's against your traditional rival, Old Bridge, although St. Joe's obviously a bigger rival in basketball. But it is an opportunity to make a statement here in the Red Division. You look at the Red Division, and St. Joe's we know is going to probably be the cream of the crop. But you've got a lot of other teams that are essentially going to cannibalize each other. They're all in that 6-2, 5-3, 6-2. Bears come in 5-2. Old Bridge 6-3. So this is a time to start making some distance here, and maybe threatening St. Joe's for dominance of the Red Division.
Lots of parity at the top of the Greater Middlesex Conference Red Division. As you mentioned, 6-1, 6-2. You got 5-2. You got 5-2, 6-3. It's all over the place. Well, the Knights of Old Bridge do come in to East Brunswick today, riding a string of away games of their own. Not just that, but 3 and 4 nights. That's got to be a disadvantage.
I mean, they're all victories. The three games we're talking about are all victories at Bishop R yesterday. But three games in 4 days. You're playing Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday. I don't know how that's going to wear on this team.
Well, this will be the first time East Brunswick faces Old Bridge in the last few years without leading scorer Tyler Drews. Tyler Drews was one of the best that Old Bridge ever had, 1,468 points in his time at the school. Now, last year, Old Bridge was 9-15 on the season, but this year, as you mentioned, already a better start. Why is that?
Well, I think, you have a good player, and I think, honestly, he was a bit of a ball hog. And now you open up the offense a little bit, spread the floor, and there are more people contributing here for Old Bridge. So that may give you an opportunity. I mean, they're 6-2, so they're doing something right coming off that 9-15 season.
East Brunswick and Old Bridge right here at East Brunswick High School. We'll be right back. Welcome back to East Brunswick High School here on East Brunswick Television. You're watching the East Brunswick Bears get ready to take on the Old Bridge Knights. John Alba, Ken Saroka here on East Brunswick Television. And Ken, let's run through the starting lineups real quick for Old Bridge. CJ Santoro, Connor Romano, Will Oswald, Dante Whipple, and Lewis Cruz. And there was a change that was thrown in at the last second that we'll talk about briefly. And for East Brunswick, it'll be John McHenry, Matt Ross, Mike Vick, Alex Fitzgerald, and Tyler McNamara. Now, we heard East Brunswick head coach Mark Modesescu, who's in his second year, talking beforehand. And he seemed a little surprised because CJ Santoro is going to get the look instead of number 32, Steven Strum, who had 11 points just yesterday against Bishop R.
Well, this could be a problem with having the third game in 4 nights. You have to use your bench. You have to rotate players in and out. And, maybe this is just a chance to give a guy a little bit of a rest. And again, the defensive position here is that Santoro is not a shooter. So the change was to kind of give the guy some room when he's out far, but don't let him penetrate because he's a penetrating, dishing kind of guard.
Santoro just 5'6", but 150 pounds. He does pack some muscle on him, which does aid in driving low. Now, Bears obviously out in their green and white. Old Bridge sporting gray uniforms today with purple lining alongside some white.
Yeah, let's get Phil Knight and Nike to design alternate Bear uniforms like they do for the University of Oregon Ducks.
It didn't even look. The national championship game was Monday night. Obviously, Ohio State beating Oregon. It didn't even look like the Oregon team, but nonetheless, McNamara and Whipple will take the jump here, and we're off in East Brunswick. Here's Mike Vick. Takes it and hands it off to John McHenry, who dribbles left and pulls it back out. He is guarded in the man by Will Oswald.
Man-to-man defense by the Knights here.
Vick dribbles, spins around, throws one up. It's no good, and Whipple comes down with it. He'll turn back the other way. Here is Connor Romano.
Bears also matching up man-on-man.
McNamara in front of Whipple, swinging around the perimeter. Romano, guarded by Fitzgerald, gets it down low to Whipple. Whipple drives, spins around, throws it up, and that one too rims out.
Well, that's Whipple. He'll be the post player down on the baseline. He's not going to be your outside shooting threat.
Loose ball will stay with East Brunswick. Dante Whipple, three-sport athlete, basketball, football, and volleyball. When you have an athletic force like that, it's easy to stick them down low and use them in whatever way you need them. Fitzgerald goes into the backcourt with a Mike Vick. McHenry back down by Santoro. Hands to Vick. 7 minutes on the clock. John Alba, Ken Saroka here at East Brunswick High School. We are still scoreless between East Brunswick and Old Bridge. Vick takes it himself, goes with the left hand, and it's good.
And that time McNamara cleared through, and Whipple kind of drifted with him to the right side of the basket.
So East Brunswick hops up 2-0 with 6:40 to play in the first quarter. Connor Romano handling the ball. That's beautiful up and in by Connor Romano. So it's 2-2 after the Mike Vick basket. And Romano as well. Here's McHenry throwing one up, but it's a little too strong, and Romano will turn it the other way. Romano had quite the game against Bishop R himself. 14 points for him.
That was a 57-54 tight match at Bishop R yesterday.
Romano swings it to Oswald, drives left hand, but throws with his right and gets it off the glass.
A little bit of an overcommitment there, and Oswald just rolled right by.
6 minutes to go now. Old Bridge leading by 2. McHenry. Senior dribbles left. Matt Ross pulling up from the free throw line. A little too strong off the back iron, but Fitzgerald is there for the rebound. A few moves and goes back up with it and gets hacked, so he'll go to the line.
That foul's on Lewis Cruz. Whipple kind of just stood there right underneath the basket. I'm surprised he didn't go up and challenge, because he's got probably the best vertical on the Old Bridge Knights team. First
Foul of the game. So Fitzgerald will go to the line for 2. It was a shooting foul. He missed the first. 5:43 to play. 4-2 Old Bridge. John Alba, Ken Saroka here on East Brunswick Television. Don't forget, you can find out all about East Brunswick Television and watch plenty of these events online as well on demand at www.ebtv.org. His second free throw is good, so it's 4-3. Romano dishes to Cruz, who gets the ball stripped away, goes back up and gets hacked.
McHenry's arguing that he got warded off by the free hand there. He's using a lacrosse term there, but as Cruz was coming through, used his free hand to kind of push out of the way. No call.
Now that's the first team foul on East Brunswick, but the scorers table actually declared that the second. Now they fix that. So it should be 1 apiece, as the first free throw by Cruz is good. The fouls actually stand at 1 apiece. Here's a second from Cruz. Bear Den getting loud, but it's to no avail. Meeting Vick at the half court are the Knights, and there's Cruz with the steal on Ross. Spins and takes it himself, and he can't convert the 1-on-1, but nonetheless, he'll head to the charity stripe.
A little sloppy there with the ball, not knowing that Cruz was already stationed in the area.
You know, that's not the typical play that you see from Matt Ross. Ross coming from a pretty high-intellect basketball lineage. His brother, Joey Ross, of course, used to play here at East Brunswick, as the first free throw is good. Used to play here at East Brunswick. Ended up playing for a little bit D3 at Ithaca College for the Bombers. And the second free throw rolls around the rim and bottoms out. So it's 8-3, Old Bridge with 5:18 to go. Vick picked up at half court by Cruz. Three-point shot by Matt Ross is good.
He had the opening, and it didn't really switch out well on him.
So 8-6 now, the Knights lead. Romano met by Fitzgerald. East Brunswick remains in the man. Cruz travels as he tries to create space.
Well, McHenry did a good job not using his hands there, using just his body to bump off. If he had his hands out in front, I don't think that call would have gone East Brunswick's way.
So instead, it will be East Brunswick ball. Vick gives to McNamara at the top of the perimeter. He was looking for Ross, I believe, but Fitzgerald intercepted the pass before it went to the backcourt. Vick takes it himself through the legs, and it seems like East Brunswick will look to make something happen. Ross drives himself. He had Romano trying to poke him from the outside. The layup was no good, but McNamara collects the rebound and spins and puts it in.
And Whipple was out of position on that first attempt. Didn't have a chance to get back down and set for the second one. McNamara used the rim effectively to block out Whipple.
So we're tied up at 8 with 4:14 to play in the first quarter. Romano in the corner pocket gives to Whipple. Turnaround, no good. Ross picks it up, looking to give East Brunswick the lead. Here's McHenry, pops the 3 from the same spot.
And he better hit that one. That's way too early. There was no East Brunswick help on that play.
Quick transition, and that's going to be an offensive foul. And the Old Bridge coaching staff not too happy about that one. Do you think he had position there?
Yeah, it did. It did look like he's not inside that kind of theoretical halo that's underneath the basket. Whipple, though, tried to make a little too much effort there. I think he could have just simply stood up, popped from about 5-10 feet out instead of trying to drive right in. But again, that's Whipple. Whipple is going to be that baseline player, and you could sit there and draw those fouls on him.
Steven Strom into the game for Old Bridge now, replacing Santoro.
And Vic jumped a little bit when he caught that ball after he caught it. That's why they're traveling.
Lots of whistles thus far. Not necessarily from fouls either.
And Vic now compounds the error by drawing a ticky-tacky foul there on.
So that will be the third team foul. And Addis Ralph is going to be set to check in, and he'll replace Vic. 3 team fouls for East Brunswick, 2 for Old Bridge. 3:43 to go in the first quarter. John Alba, Ken Saroka here on East Brunswick Television. Old Bridge will inbound. So here is Romano.
Strom's in the game. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Strom's in the game for Old Bridge. Watch the Mac now as Whipple sits. No, Whipple is on the court. Okay.
It was Santoro who was taken out.
Okay, so Addis Ralph now has Whipple and that's where Dante Whipple. That's where Dante Whipple makes his living, right there.
Whipple, just the physicality. You see his body.
Well, I mean, do you put McNamara, who has the bigger body, on him, or do you let Ralph, who's longer, go after him?
Well, here is McHenry, gives to McNamara.
Bit of a zone here, collapsing down inside.
Matt Ross takes it back. Ralph tried to set a screen. You're right. It's a total zone right now from Old Bridge. So coming out of that substitution, there was a bit of a change. Ralph pops a 3. It's no good.
No good. And McNamara's down on the block on a 3. That rebound's going to come out further out.
As Ralph averaging less than 1 3 per game. See why, and there's going to be a foul there.
And Cruz is going to go to the line here, and that foul's on McHenry.
So 14th foul for East Brunswick. With 2:40 to go in the first quarter.
Cruz already with 4 points from the charity stripe on 4 of 4.
First free throw is good from Luis Cruz. Cruz also another multi-sport athlete here. Dual athlete in baseball. 9 games this year, averaging 8.2 points per. And there's a miss, and East Brunswick corrals. Ross, cross-court pass to Ralph, who lays it in.
Nice. Good vision, Matt Ross.
The outlet pass to Ralph was perfect, on the money, and East Brunswick trails by 1. McHenry tries to steal one away, but can't collect it. And Cruz recognizes that one was his error on the miscommunication. He and Coach Jim McCumber having some words. So Romano will inbound. He gets it out to Cruz. Strom's
isolation for Cruz. They're trying to isolate him.
Well, here's Whipple spin. Same move as he's been doing all game, and he converts still. Dante Whipple. Good start by him.
Well, they're going to take advantage of that matchup because Ralph can't guard his physicality. And Whipple's not going to give you the jump shot. He's going to go in and lay it off the glass.
Here's Fitzgerald underneath the hoop. Free throw shot by McNamara short. They'll go the other way. 1:48 to go in the period. Gives to Strom. Tries to lay it up high from Whipple.
And that's where, again, Addis Ralph can't match up there. He's got a body, got to put the arms around him. And Ralph will pick up his first foul. 5th team foul.
Justin Soonerine.
We're going to be shooting a lot of free throws in that second quarter. Or not us, but Old Bridge. And we're going to be having a lot of free throws here. 5 fouls, 1:42 left.
So here's Cruz. Strom was trying to create some room for Romano, but Romano started to move before he could even collect the pass.
Well, they called Strom on a block down low, trying to set a pick.
So 3rd team foul for Old Bridge.
Now Whipple has McNamara here, so you got 2 bigs. You got the big body and the tall body here.
Ralph saves it. Old Bridge back out in the man. McNamara for 3. Arc was good, but a little too strong. Ralph with the offensive board, though, goes back up, and it's clean through the net.
That's not McNamara's range. That's not McNamara's range. He's got to take that down low.
So with 1 minute to play here in the quarter, East Brunswick within 1. Laying up again for Romano, but East Brunswick recognized it this time, and Ross turns it the other way. McHenry, 4-3 in the side pocket. This is no good. Fast-paced back and forth here at East Brunswick High School. Strom drives and is rejected, but there's a foul.
That didn't, he must have got him with the body because he didn't get him with the hand.
And the crowd here in East Brunswick does not like that one as Ralph's jersey becomes untucked with that.
Yeah, and the referee on the far side said basically, a little bit of a shove. Maybe with the free hand, it wasn't going up for the block.
So 16 foul for East Brunswick. Strom converts the first free throw. Approaching 7 fouls by the end of the quarter, that's not the way you start a game. The second free throw, in and out. But
Whipple,
like you just said, the awareness.
He's going to make his living in the paint, 5 feet and in. He's not going to make his on the wing. And when you have free throws like that, you got to count for everybody. And Ralph didn't count for him.
6'2" is Dante Whipple. 16-12, the Knights lead the Bears. 25 seconds on the game clock.
Might be holding for our last shot here.
No shot clock in the high school game, so most certainly plausible. Soonerine, McHenry, back to Ross. 8 seconds now on the clock. The separation is there. Ross pulls up for 2. In and out. Ralph tries to make something happen. Old Bridge takes it, and that'll be the end of the first quarter. 16-12. What are your thoughts coming out of that quarter?
You got to defend. You got to defend. Whipple's going to come inside. Cruz made a living coming inside, going to the line 3 times, converting 5 of 6 free throws. All right. I think it's time to listen in on Coach Mark Mataseski now as he reviews his first quarter.
Ty, you okay? You need one. You okay?
Right. They have all layups and foul shots
This first quarter. All layups and foul shots. And we want to hang our hat on defensively.
How can we?
How can we win? We're not going to win this game. We continue to give them layups. All layups. There's not one perimeter shot they made. It's been all layups. Okay? If they're running their motion sets, you got to make sure you're jumping in to help, make sure you're talking, make sure you're helping off. Your man setting the screen. They got a second lob because no one called out a screen when their man set a back screen. So we were quiet. We didn't get off and we didn't say anything. Communicate. Be loud. Communicate. That was a bad quarter defensively. We're much better than that. We're down 4. We got to get after it. We're not going zone. We got to get after it, man, right now. Let's go.
Defense on 3. 1,
So
2, 3.
layups and communication.
Yeah. That's true. They haven't really attempted many outside shots. Maybe along the baseline a couple of shots, but we're not talking about bombing away from 3, and we're not talking about that mid-range jumper at the elbow. It's just not happening. They're going right in.
As you said, it's been the Dante Whipple and Lewis Cruz show thus far. 16-12 here at the start of the second quarter. Old Bridge leads. Whipple on perimeter. McNamara applying a little bit of pressure. Fitzgerald on Romano.
Bears still in a man-to-man defense.
That's exactly what Montesescu was alluding to, and there's some slippage by Cruz there, but Old Bridge is able to corral the ball again, and Oswald throws one up. Guess what? A layup. But it's no good.
That time it didn't work, but there was an opportunity there.
So East Brunswick now with the ball. Ross dribbles and drives, passes down low to McNamara. There was some contact.
That's going to be on Cruz.
Hand against the back.
And I think Coach Montessi wanted to know if that was in the process shooting. That's the second. That is the second foul on Cruz, and Cruz is going to sit and be replaced by Kyle Paris.
Kyle Paris, 6'2", 172. So another big body that this Old Bridge team has.
And got a foul inside on Matt Ross trying to break through a screen. The second personal on Ross.
That's the 17th foul for East Brunswick, but obviously an offensive foul, so we won't see the 1-on-1 here. 4 for Old Bridge. Romano. Fitzgerald's done a nice job containing Romano thus far for the most part. McHenry on Paris, and the ball
that's been tipped
away, as you said. So the Knights will reset.
Yes, you're right up there into the action, Bear Den, so pay attention. Balls and players do leave the playing surface from time to time.
Assume responsibility. Romano into the front court. Drives right hand. He can drive both, and just Fitzgerald literally just takes that one out of his hands, but the jump ball.
Anyway. Yeah. But at least East Brunswick had 3 defenders reasonably in the area there. So Fitzgerald was able to come up with it. In that case, they had Whipple and Paris isolated on the other side.
Here is Sunarine. And some miscommunication between him and McHenry, and the ball's loose on the ground. A scuffle, and Old Bridge is able to get it out. Paris is open, but Romano takes the 3, and it's a swish.
Well, that's the first outside shot they've hit. And I guess, you say, hey, you guys going to pull up from 3. They haven't done it before. Let them take it.
Got to make them do it. 19-12, 6:14 to play here in the first half. Sunarine drives, kicks to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald pulls up for the shot. It is no good.
And, Whipple had the good position there.
Here's Strom, who's been quiet today. He takes himself. Looked like he had a few extra steps there, but they'll say it was 2.5, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Second personal on McHenry.
Old Bridge definitely taking it to the Bears with the physicality. Not afraid to go forth. Cumber giving directions to Paris once the ball is loose. And there's the first free throw, is no good. 19-12, still score, 5:57 on the clock.
Bears have gone about 3 minutes without scoring.
Second free throw from Strom is too strong, but tipped back out to the Knights, and they will bring it back. Whipple on the arc. Out to Romano. They'll set up, call for motion. Paris. And excellent recognition by Sunarine there. He goes up and misses the layup, but McNamara is there to follow up, and that's good court awareness by Tyler McNamara.
I think
he
he was going up and he was like, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I don't have enough room to get the ups. And
McNamara was following him up, so that's some heads-up basketball by him. Romano throws a tough one up, but it's rejected by Fitzgerald, and a traveling is called as the ball was put back into his arms and he fell down. So Mike Vick back into the game for Fitzgerald.
And we're getting a timeout. 22nd timeout by the Old Bridge coach. This game is going to be rebroadcast on EBTV. A couple of different times here. It's going to be broadcast again on Thursday, the 15th at 8 p.m. and Saturday, the 17th at 2 p.m. If you can't catch it either of these broadcasts, you can certainly catch all of the East Brunswick TV programming, community service, as well as sports on ebtv.org on demand, streaming on a device near you.
You know, the on-demand service is great. You can go back, you can watch all the archives from like 1986, this week in East Brunswick, see what was happening on Route 18.
Yeah, watch recently retired athletic director Frank Knoppenberger coaching the Bears boys basketball team in the GMCs.
Rocking quite a mean haircut in the process, too, if I may add.
Mm-hmm.
He had a healthy head of hair back in the day. Not that he doesn't now, but East Brunswick new athletic director Christopher Yanazzo took charge at the beginning of the year. 1914, Old Bridge leads East Brunswick. Here's Vic. Goes left to right, down low to McNamara. He stutters and puts it up.
And that's Paris overcommitted and went right by McNamara. And that's more McNamara's range. He shouldn't be out taking 15-foot jump shots.
Some heads-up plays by him in the last 2 or 3 minutes or so.
Bears playing a bit of a zone now.
Swinging him across, and that's interesting because in the last time out, Mataseski said they were going to stick with the man. Here's Whipple. 2 men on him, and they finally force a miss from him. McNamara is able to hold on to the loose ball.
And that's because they stood their ground there, and Whipple had to change his shot midair.
That's what you got to do to stop him. That's what you do. Vic pulls up for 3. The arc was good, but off to the right. Old Bridge turning it back over quickly. Vic meeting Romano. Romano's been there in the entire game thus far, as has Whipple. And good defense there by Sunarine, but Paris picks it back up, drives, and gets fouled.
Well, Sunarine lost him and had to come up from behind, and that's almost a sure call here if you're going to reach in from behind, unless you absolutely cleanly get ball. And the Bears now with 9 team fouls.
Next one will be an automatic 2 from the charity stripe. First one is good.
This one was in the act of shooting.
(20-16). Knights lead the Bears. 4:02 to play in the first half. Second one is good. And
we've played half of this quarter, and it's 5-3 in this quarter. Old Bridge. So a bit sloppy on both ends.
Well, before this, we saw a double overtime JV game as Ross drives, gets fouled, and it's good. So he'll get a chance for one more. 21-18. It was a double overtime 41-38 final.
Yeah.
Don't see that too often.
No, not in a JV game. But the Bears did win.
They did. Ross for 1, and it's no good. McNamara puts a little bit of press on, then pulls it back out. Old Bridge will reset. Don't forget, Mark Mataseski used to be the head coach of the junior varsity team. McNamara backs down Whipple. The one-on-one matchup. It was good defensive presence by McNamara, but he goes down as Whipple forces him away.
They're not going to give McNamara that call. He's too close under the basket. They're not going to give him that on the second attempt.
Swung over to Sunarine. Ross cuts, gives to McNamara. We saw that one before. It was good, but he traveled.
Yeah, had to get a little bit of a hop step in there to get closer to the basket.
So C.J. Santoro will come back in for the Knights, replacing Strom, and Fitzgerald back in for East Brunswick as McNamara comes out. 23-18. 3:08 on the clock. John Alba, Ken Saroka here on East Brunswick Television. Romano pivots, and we're going to get the whistle. 5 seconds.
And the coach is yelling at Paris. He was the man who was supposed to come off those screens and get open.
Paris eyeing McCumber on that exchange. Here's Vic. We've seen East Brunswick roll around the top of the perimeter a lot this quarter. Fitzgerald pops the 3. It's too strong. And Santoro will come back the other way. Looking for Whipple. I'm not sure what Sunarine was doing there going for that ball. He lucked out that it's East Brunswick's possession.
Well, he lucked out because he did a ballet move midair.
But I'm
pirouette it and got around that ball and then hit the foot.
I guess
this game is in danger of getting out of hand for the Bears because they're not making good shot selections on the inside. And it's 5 now. It could be 10 real quick.
Ross drives, and there's another one of those tough layups.
Fitzgerald got the rebound, but that is, again, a bad shot in the middle of traffic.
And they wanted to travel there, but nonetheless, Old Bridge gets the turnover as Romano cuts it off, gives to Whipple, spins around, puts it up, and it's too strong. Whipple struggled in the second quarter thus far. Cross court to McHenry, too strong. He throws it up. It almost went in off the top of the backboard. But now we just see back and forth here between Old Bridge and East Brunswick.
You can just tell Coach Monteseschi is fuming right now at the next dead ball. Probably going to take a timeout. He is not happy with the selection and a travel.
And let's see, are we going to get a timeout? 1:46 to go. McNamara back in, we won't. I'll tell you what, if that shot went in, that might have been the greatest shot I've ever seen.
Well, like the one guy, the 2:10 on the shot clock, who just tapped it.
Yeah.
Volleyball style tap, quick boom up, and it went in. It's the kind of shot you use in horse. All right.
140.
Bears again slowing it down. That was one of the things. A bit of a helter-skelter pace.
Emmerich Sawyer's going to come in for the Knights momentarily. McNamara to Soonarine, back out to Fitzgerald. Bounce pass inside low post.
McNamara's stuck on an island. Double dribble. That's not a good move. There are 3 defenders there collapsing in on him, and then they feed it inside to him. So now Whipple gets his first breather. He comes out.
So the 6', 171 Emmerich Sawyer in his place. So for the first time, East Brunswick has a favorable matchup with size in this game. 1:14 left in the half, though, so let's see how much of an impact that makes. Mono gives to Santoro as he cut towards the near side. Goes far side now for Oswald, who's been quiet. We got to Santoro, 5'6". To Paris, drives, Sawyer.
Step.
And that's exactly what it was. And he can't believe it, but I thought that was pretty evident.
Yeah. It's that little stutter step, like you hit the brakes and the gas at the same time.
19 fouls for East Brunswick, 5 for Old Bridge, so East Brunswick does have to be cautious here with 50 seconds left. Do you try to hold?
No, well, they're going to. That's the thing here. But, almost a bad pass. I would have tried for 2 for 1. But the way the Bears are executing on that early possession is not happening.
23-18, 35 seconds. Well, they'll throw one up, and McHenry for 3.
Now, you don't have that foul to give. This is where the 9 team fouls hurt, because you can't take them off their rhythm by fouling.
They could very easily get 2 free points here.
And so far, Old Bridge, I think, has missed 2 out of 9 or 10 free throw attempts. So it's not like you're guaranteed that they're going to miss it.
Tries to throw up a prayer. It's no good. 7 seconds left. East Brunswick will turn it the other way. Old Bridge has fouls to give. Here's Ross. Pops one for 3. It's good. And that will end the first half as East Brunswick, believe it or not, Ken, takes the lead.
Yeah. And that was all done in the last minute and a half, too, because they were down 5 at 23-18. And 2 3-pointers, one by Henry, one by Ross. And suddenly now the Bears are up 24-23.
24-23 in the first half that really was mostly controlled by Old Bridge. Well, we're going to step aside here for a break, but we'll be right back with more here on East Brunswick Television.
Second half action about to get underway here. Old Bridge Knights visiting here in the East Brunswick Bears on EBTV. I'm Ken Saroka along with John Alba. Bit of a helter-skelter first half, 24-23 Bears leading.
It was all Old Bridge, really, up until the final minute or so of the first half as East Brunswick had back-to-back 3-pointers. The score is not indicative of how this game has gone. We've seen a really dominant post play from the Knights throughout, and East Brunswick finally, towards the end of that half, starting to find a way how to present against that and force Old Bridge to take some shots.
Well, if you look at it, in the timeout, when we had Coach Monteseschi mic'd up, foul shots and layups. basically is what Old Bridge lived on in that first half.
It was almost entirely off that. Dante Whipple dominating down low, 8 points for him for the Knights. But towards the end, East Brunswick finally started to find a way to get an answer, but his physicality is just all brute force. So we'll see how East Brunswick is able to counteract that here in the second half as he is out on the floor. And in fact, it's a starting 5 for the Knights.
Right, and then across the way, Lewis Cruz will inbound for the Old Bridge Knights, who come into this game 6-2, 6-3. Bears are 5-2. And we can see maybe that the fact that the Knights are playing 3 games in 4 nights, this might take its toll in this half.
Especially late in that game, fourth quarter.
Romano double teamed right off the top is Whipple. They're not even letting him, and now he breaks 3, and that's the easy layup for Dante Whipple.
East Brunswick went all in to start the half, and they drew low 2s on that.
Vic draws Cruz. Will get to the paint, get inside, throws up a runner, no good. Gets the rebound, looks for it, and puts it back.
It's an excellent job following up there by Vic, establishing himself off the miss, going back up with his right hand. It's textbook.
Romano draws Fitzgerald out.
East Brunswick out in the man.
Around the arc it goes. Whipple fires it around to Oswald. And a bit of a travel here as Cruz kind of slid to a stop.
And what I liked about that was East Brunswick lost their men briefly for a second, but there was good rotation, good switch that was able to make sure that they had each other's backs on that, which eventually leads to East Brunswick ball.
Vic looking for a screen. McHenry gets into the paint, cuts across. Now back out to the top of the arc. Vic drives between the legs, throws it up, no good. McNamara with the rebound, puts it up and in.
He's been real good today, especially following up, having his teammates' backs.
Well, Whipple's going to commit to that first move. Whipple's going to commit to the block. So if you can have somebody on the backside, that'll help. Romano now with Fitzgerald on him around the arc. Oswald draws Matt Ross. Whipple's going to try to bull his way in and took some steps.
And that's McNamara not being afraid now to go up against Whipple. You talked about specifically in the beginning that matchup between McNamara and how his body is more adept than Addis Rouse, and that's exactly it right there.
And that's way too far out for Whipple to catch the ball.
Way too far out.
Vic looking for help here. Switch. Nope. Passes it inside. McNamara's way out on the wing. Going to have to get rid of it quick. Vic.
That's three possessions in a row. Vic has tried to force one inside the lane.
Romano cuts in front of the basket and lays it right in.
Romano's been relatively quiet today. Like I said, he exploded against Bishop Bar and had 21 versus Piscataway on the 8th, but relatively quiet today.
Off a screen, Vic looking pass back Fitzgerald at the foul line. Ross driving, gives to McNamara, who has an easy layup.
All of his points have just been textbook basketball. Take it, lay it in. If that's how you got to score, that's how you're going to score. East Brunswick's up.
Well, Whipple's going to go for the block. He's going to be the big man there, and then no weak side help. And McNamara can clean the boards.
5:30 left to play in the third quarter.
Inside of Whipple. Now, this is his comfort zone. About 6 feet out, pops.
And comfort, you took the words right out of my mouth. He didn't fret at all once he had the ball. He knew what he was going to do and put it right in.
Looking around the outside, Vic to McHenry. A little bit of hand check foul on the outside there by Santoro. He'll drive his first foul and first team foul on either side for the second half.
Knights playing like a hybrid mix of a man and a zone here to start the second half. We'll see if they choose to stick with that. I know it's on the last 2 possessions.
Strom checks in, so you got a bigger lineup in place here for the Knights. Vic guarded by Cruz. McHenry.
There's that man switch by the
Strom
Knights.
Strom comes out nicely on him. Vic, shake and bake, long 3, gets it.
the Bear Den and everyone here, they were waiting for it.
They were waiting for a broken ankle because Vic made a nice move to free up some space. Romano draws Vic. Whipple way out high. Cruz now.
kept his pivot foot on the ground. There, he moved it there. That should have been a walk on
Cruz with the throw up the runner and gets it to fall. The first basket for Cruz after surviving on the charity stripe.
Breathe second life.
Bears working it nicely. McHenry is going to drive baseline, throws up the floater, no good. McNamara is a little out of position, and Strom picks up the board.
East Brunswick's Ross and McHenry have been more successful from the outside today than inside. Let's see if that temptation re-exists. Hey, see, I don't like that foul call there on Strom. I think Strom was trying to sell that one a little bit.
Well, he's going to go to the free throw line for it.
Barely any contact, and if there was, it was at the fingertips, and he went down on the ground there. Hey, you know, soccer, you can get away with that. Why not basketball?
Sure,
Give it a shot.
I know. At least they're not writhing in pain when they hit the ground.
No. Bring the stretcher out. No, I'm good. Oh, I can get up. I can go.
Strom makes the first.
4:01 to play in the third quarter. East Brunswick leading by 1.
Makes the second. That was a 3-shot foul because he was outside the arc. So Old Bridge can take the lead here with a successful free throw. And does.
You know, basketball is a game of momentum, and if I'm Old Bridge, I look to push it the next time I get down the court. You want to keep that going. Make a key stop here against the Bears and try to push that forward.
Well, in the first 4 minutes of this quarter, Old Bridge has scored 11 points. They scored 7 in the entire second quarter. Well, way out. Fitzgerald's got to track that down.
Definitely some sloppiness from East Brunswick.
Ross drives, will make it to the hole, take it to the hole, and drops in.
Well, that's not the stop that Old Bridge needed. Just complete control by that Ross.
And you know, Whipple was looking for the pass to go out to McNamara, and instead Ross just took it right to the hole. And there was a little bit of a window there. Oswald to Strom, trying to reverse the flow here. Cruz is going to have to track that down. Whipple with a high screen. McNamara comes out, bumps. Is going to regather himself. Cruz slides on the floor again. Romano drives in. That's going to go wide. McNamara one-arms the rebound.
McNamara got a little lucky there. He was out of position on Whipple, but it ended up being right where the ball came out to.
Romano's going to call for a hand check foul on Matt Ross. No Old Bridge night really in serious foul trouble. Cruz has 2 of the players on the floor right now. Strom has 2 also. Fitzgerald's going to check out, and Addis Ralph is going to check in. So we'll see how the 2 bigs work here as McNamara will inbound.
Soonarina on the court as well. And for Old Bridge, Kyle Parrish is going to come in momentarily.
And this pace here in the third quarter, much more hectic than we've seen. But a lot more controlled, too. Not a lot of turnovers.
Smarter shots from East Brunswick, especially thus far.
Soonarine, McNamara, way out high above the arc. Vic, Addis Ralph. Bears looking for an opening here. Old Bridge collapsing nicely. Ralph's going to put up a 3. In and out. Ooh, that was halfway down, and it pops back out.
He had Oswald in his face, but he decided to go for it anyway.
Cruz did the slide. His shoes have been slippery, you know, all night, and he got called again for it.
Third travel this half for the night, second on Cruz.
And Paris is going to check in, and
McCumber's not happy.
Oswald's going to check out.
McCumber is not happy.
Well, he's talking to the ref, and that ref didn't make the call. It was the ref that's on the right side here who made the call from behind. But just as there is probably offensive holding on every football play,
right,
there is traveling practically on every basketball series.
Especially
and Montessi is going to call a timeout, and this is going to be a 20.
Let's see.
20-second timeout. So let's listen in real quick. He's not happy.
We're going to get it in. We're going to run a 4 high, set a good screen, go opposite him. He's going to set a good screen. You're going to score on the block, okay? Use your retreat if you see a count. Be a good point guard. Let's go. Get in here. Get in here.
Defense on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wow, he just saw people standing around watching, and it's like, okay, fine. If you're not gonna do that, boom, timeout.
So they're going to roll out to Addis Ralph here, and we're going to see if that works because you still have Whipple out there on the court, so you have to find a way to get low and create some separation for Ralph.
All right, so you're gonna go Fitzgerald. Vic will trigger.
Here comes
Ross.
that move right there, but Whipple's right there to stop it.
A little bit of a hand check foul again. Romano's going to get called for riding.
Second for him.
And now Old Bridge starting to rack up some fouls here.
.141 to go in the third quarter, 35-34. East Brunswick leads.
Ross will launch a 3 off. Addis Ralph with the rebound. Off. I think he probably could have brought that back out, but puts up the rebound immediately, and the Old Bridge Knights are working it around the arc. Strom's going to launch a 3 from top. No good. Romano kind of had the ball in his hand and tried to run with it before. Vic, soft floater from the foul line, no good.
Not sure why he's rushing that one, especially with a minute 15 to play.
Or why he isn't taking it to the hole. I mean, draw the foul.
Pulling
Harris, Cruz. He of the slippery shoes.
They are matching his uniform, the purple shoes.
Oh, Romano has the lane, easy lane. And Whipple is there to clean up as McNamara had to come out and guard Romano.
Yeah, I mean, that's just being in the right place at the right time, and Whipple using his body in the way that he knows how to. The ball was there for him, put it in.
Ross, bad passes, intercepting that, getting in the way. Now reload, another bad pass. McNamara, though, will take it into the hole and score it. Finally, a little bit of control.
It didn't look like Addis Ralph realized the ball was there for him, but he turns around, collects, and was able to send it on the outlet.
And again, McNamara is great. Get him the ball low, put him in motion toward the basket. He's not going to give you the 15-foot jumper.
8 to play in the quarter.
Now they've got Fitzgerald on Whipple, and McNamara then is open to steal. Bit of a defensive switch. And clock ran out on it. Wow.
I see Justin Sunarine shaking his head on that. He wasn't happy about that. Didn't seem like anyone on the court knew how much time was left. Modestescu was calling for them to shoot it, but we're going to send it out to the cheerleaders now, and we'll return to our game action discussion in just a couple moments. I wish scoring was that easy.
Yeah, if you're 12 feet tall, yeah, or 10 feet tall.
Oh, but as I was saying, yeah, it didn't seem like anyone really knew how much time was.
Yeah, well, we didn't either because I was sitting here watching the play, and wow, it just kind of flew right by.
But I want to talk about Tyler McNamara. Coming into this game, averaging 4.7 points per game, really has just been spectacular today. He got off to a slow start against Dante Whipple, but since then has taken control offensively and been much more sturdy defensively. That's the kind of post play you need if you're East Brunswick when you're going against someone like Dante Whipple.
Right, and I think with Romano now being more assertive, Whipple hasn't really touched the ball in the low block. So if I'm Coach McCumber, I'm going to go back to that formula. I'm going to have Cruz drive. I'm going to have Whipple take the ball on the baseline and pound it home.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. In the first quarter, it certainly wasn't broken.
McHenry and Ross play catch with it outside the arc. But now Vic.
Old Bridge staying in the man to open the quarter. Got a man out of position, though.
Again, kind of a zone here as Addis Ralph is just bouncing back and forth.
It's like the hybrid.
Sunarine from the corner. No good. Ooh, that was close.
Two Knights fighting for it.
Neither one touching the floor, it looked like. Air ball and picked up by Ross, who's going to drive down. Looks for McHenry in the corner. Quick three. Hits the three. In rhythm.
Exactly, rhythm, and that's exactly what he was trying to do with that. He knew he had the opportunity, put it in rhythm. I gotta say, Romano really has not been there all that much tonight. Hot start to his season, but maybe that fatigue you talked about.
Talking about fatigue right there. That pass was an easy mark for Vic to pick off, but he knocked it out of bounds. Old Bridge will retain possession. 6:50 left fourth quarter. I'm Ken Saroka along with John Alba on EBTV. Coverage of boys basketball begins. Paris, Cruz. Bit of a matchup zone here, double teaming the ball. Cruz gets knocked out. Paris recovers. And this is Coach McCumber's time to now say, okay, guys, we're standing around here. And such is the life.
And it's a 4-point differential, and Old Bridge is going to have to try kickstarting coming out of this timeout. You know, giving a heads up here on the EBTV upcoming schedule. January 15th, this upcoming Thursday, 7 p.m. versus Piscataway. I'll actually be on the call for that one alongside the recently retired Frank Knoppenberger.
Uh-oh.
Sounds strange to hear that, doesn't it? You can catch the replay of that game the day after at 8 p.m., the 2 days after that, the 17th at noon, and Sunday, the 18th at 1 p.m. And you can check this game out as well Thursday at 8 p.m. Saturday.
Yeah, EBTV has
2 p.m.
4 boys, 4 girls basketball games on tap along with some wrestling matches. So the winter sports season in full bloom here. And again, we'd like to thank the EBTV technical crew. They come out about 2 hours before game time, get it set up, broadcasting this to you. I mean, this is a 3-camera setup. It's pretty nice job they do for local high school sports. And
Always
they've been doing it for many, many years. David Ambrosi there, been doing this for many, many, many years, and we thank him for his support of East Brunswick High School athletics.
Taking a break from his rock star life in the process, too.
Mm-hmm. I have a story about that, I will tell you.
I'm anxious to hear that.
Romano and Cruz, East Brunswick is popping into this kind of matchup zone here. One guy out high and 4 back, and rotating it through. Addis Ralph has got his jersey tugged by Whipple. Ball goes out of bounds. Soon got a hand on that.
East Brunswick went in the double team there, trying to create a little pressure up for. You have plenty of fouls to give, which is not what the case was earlier. So try some new things out. See if you can create some separation.
Now Cruz, who had a good first quarter, driving it to the hole, getting fouled. Passes it to Whipple, who's outside. Swinging around, good ball movement. Strom from the corner for 3, in and out. Whipple gets the rebound, no good. Ralph corrals it. Quick movement here and to the hole and in.
That was 2 shots you got to make if you're Old Bridge, and you don't, and look what it turns into. Excellent court vision there, and Matt Ross corrals and puts it in.
Bears open up their biggest lead at 6. Their biggest deficit was 5. So nice swing here since late in the first quarter. Cruz for 3. No good.
Strange 3-point shot.
And this is that moment where, when East Brunswick was down 5, you could get away from Old Bridge easily. Addis Ralph, no good. Rebound, little jump hook in.
Didn't put the ball back down on the ground, went right back up. That's always a big man's worst nightmare. When you put the ball back down, it gets forced away. Ralph, excellent awareness, knew where the ball was, knew where the defenders were, puts it back in.
And Coach McCumber went out and talked to one of the refs as he called timeout. And let's listen in on Coach Modesteski and the Bears.
I think they're actually done, but there you go. Okay.
We'll sit it down now. Coach Mott's there. Let's go back down to him.
Zone, okay? They got a good look over there. I want us to be active, okay? As soon as the ball is reversed, obviously you're getting diagonal. Then you got to bust your ass back up to the top. You're going to have to read what shooter's on which. If he has 2 shooters on each side, obviously you got to play it straight up. But if they're putting the 1 shooter in the corner, try to cheat one side.
I don't know if we did it. I think we almost like doubled or something. Don't do right when they have good shooters.
That's your
But then
responsibility.
talk
to win.
about it. Then talk about it so we don't have 2 guys on one and then they, reverse.
You got to do a good job trying to deny that. Make him lob it over your head. We still have John underneath there when the ball's in the middle. So get up to the ball like you're defending him in man, okay? Make it hard for him to catch. He's got to catch outside the three-point line. Hey, energy, rebounding. Continue to push. What are we doing in transition? All good stuff, right? Keep doing it. Come on.
Got a rebound, though. Everyone got a rebound here, right?
Finish on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Finish. Hey, Mark.
And the second voice you heard in that huddle was assistant coach Richie Whalen. He's the JV coach. And again, the legacy of East Brunswick coaches, former players, now teachers in the district. It's a wonderful testament to the kind of legacy that Frank Knottenberger created by bringing these people along and kind of bleeding green, as it were. All right, Cruz is going to bring the ball up for the Knights. Cruz, Paris, Strom, Oswald, and Whipple, as Romano is not in the game. One less ball hawk, as it were.
See, I find that interesting.
Kickball.
In the timeout, he talked about that double team that Soonarine did before and how that shouldn't be happening, and it just happened right again there. Now, East Brunswick recognized it, and they pulled back out of it, but it's communication. You got to be talking.
Oh, there's a pointed double team. Oh, no, Romano is in there. I'm sorry.
He just came back.
Just came back in. See, a little pressure there is okay, but if you go heavy, he'll break that press, and then you have a mismatch there.
Exactly. Got to rotate if that's the case.
So you show token pressure there. Vic guarding against that side pass. Strom on the corner. Oswald now. Strom around the arc. Trying to bounce back. Now they're getting a matchup inside. Addis Ralph came through the screen. Well, Whipple, though, had good position, and he's going to draw a foul on Addis Ralph, his third.
Now, Whipple and Oswald are mouthing off to each other, but Oswald really hasn't done much at all today, and I think that's some frustration between the two of them.
Cruz looks like he's going to go check in soon. Pass out to Whipple, guarded by Soonarine. Draws a double team. Oswald has it then inside as Whipple saw the man.
Or maybe they were just drawing something up in that conversation too, because that was picturesque.
Well, that's the first time in a long time I can remember Dante Whipple looking to pass once he gets that ball. Addis Ralph off the glass and in. Baseline move by Addis Ralph, who now has 8 points for the Bears.
It's really been a nice force here in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter.
Well, I think the idea of this kind of matchup zone here is going to keep Ralph a little bit more focused on offense and rebounding than having to guard Whipple in the low post. Ball knocked around, might have been blocked partially on the way. Break here for Soonarine, who's going to stop and pop from 10. Misses it way long. That was a bit of an awkward shot. Didn't look like a good rhythm flow. Romano going to the hole, and instead of drawing the jump ball, Soonarine's going to draw a foul for reaching in.
Yeah, I get what Soonarine was going for there with that pull-up jumper from mid-range, but again, you're 3.5 minutes to play. You're up 8 points. There are some things that you got to ask yourself: is it worth slowing down? Is it worth trying to bring this back?
If you can take it all the way into the hole, no, you take it right into the hole. Draw the foul.
Well, I think he was trying to get the defender to bite, assuming that he was going to go in, and he pulled up instead. But now, you got 2 free throws here. The first one was good. The second one is good, and now it's a 6.
Yeah, and you don't want Old Bridge scoring with no time expiring on the clock here. Bears up 6.
Press was on.
Good ball fake move there. Froze Whipple. Whipple was looking for the pass, and Ross goes right in.
East Brunswick had the on-man off the full court press.
Romano gonna get it now. Again, a little pressure here. Force that extra pass. Corner jumper by Paris is no good. Long rebound. Outlet. Tracked down by Ross, who goes in and deposits it for 2 more and another timeout. And again, that moment where this could get out of hand quick.
It's a good timeout by McCumber, but his team is not happy, especially Whipple. I'm curious what East Brunswick's going to do here with 2:49 to play. You got to assume you got to slow it down, but how do you protect? You got to imagine that Old Bridge is going to pound the board. You know that they're going to come inside, try to force in the low key, but
this zone has been good at protecting that. I mean, you don't have McNamara in the game. You have Ralph, who has 3 fouls now, but 2:49 left. That's not really a factor. And the pass is not going inside, because if Whipple's hanging back there by the baseline, this is where Addis Ralph's length and height and jumping ability will stop that pass from coming in. And unless you can somehow bounce it through people's legs to get it to Whipple in the paint, he's not going to get the ball.
Yeah, and I was looking at that conversation there, and really Whipple is the center of attention in this case, because you know he's going to be that guy that they're going to try to go to for this. When you have the body that Whipple has, when you have the athleticism, as I mentioned before, a three-sport athlete, you have to find a way to incorporate him late in the game. That's what these elite athletes are meant to do. So 2:45 to prove that.
Romano, again, the double team comes out to offer the pressure, picks up the dribble. That's a problem right there. Strom now, wide pass. Sunarim comes out, then withdraws. And again, look at Addis Ralph and Whipple. Whipple is at the key.
Whipple had him beat there, and they chose not to go for him and pops the three instead.
And that rebound came out long, tipped by Ralph. Vic is going to take it to the hole and drop it in.
Very interesting ball movement there by the Knights, because Whipple had Ralph beat. Ralph was on front. Whipple had his strong arm to the basket and nothing.
But that's one pass that a high school kid really can't make,
right.
That just lob it over top. Now Whipple dishes. Romano has his three attempt blocked. And Whipple will take the rebound. Outlet pass in the corner. Now, Ross had to dribble himself out of trouble, and he didn't. He dribbled it off his foot. Give possession back to Old Bridge. Strom picks up the ball, his dribble. A bit of almost a travel there. Romano, Sunarim right out on him. And again, Whipple's out way too high. He's at the elbow. Cruz is now going to come in, and that's an offensive foul as Ralph had position way outside, and Cruz is going to pick up the personal.
You could see that one coming from a mile away, and that's exactly what Ralph did. Got himself set. Again, textbook. East Brunswick up 12 now. Full court press is going to be on. If you can break it, slow it down.
And Ross is going to launch a three in rhythm. Oh, okay, all right.
I mean, when that's your shot, and I said in the beginning of the game, the Rosses like to shoot three-point shots, but...
Unofficially, Ross with 19 for the Bears. Strom looking to get around. Romano's got to... They have to launch threes. They're down 15 points with a minute 18 left. Kickball. Yeah. Working around the outside, they've got to find some threes, or they got to drive and get those fouls. But you got 3 fouls to give,
exactly,
and to shoot the 1-and-1s. Now Matt Pearl might check in here. A little bit of a defensive specialist time. Oswald from the corner, tapped around by Vic. Strom has it. Again, clock winding down. Romano launches the three, no good. Sunarim with the rebound. And Ross is going to take it, and he's smart just to kind of play around with it. Gives it up to Vic. 50 seconds remaining, fourth quarter. Bears up 15. And Coach Monteseschi going to call a timeout here. Matt Pearl's going to check in to the lineup. So's
Adam Rosa. Barring the greatest comeback in the history of high school basketball.
Oh, don't say that. I remember ESPN showing that high school football game where a team came back
football,
from
yes.
and then lost it. They came back from like 24 points and then lost it with the last second kickoff that was run back. Yeah, so it's not.
But barring that occurring, this will be a big victory for East Brunswick. Up 15. You got Piscataway coming up. Now, you talked about Piscataway earlier being the dweller of the red division, but nonetheless, moves you to 6-2. You're up in the win column.
All right, we got a mass substitution here. Besides Madam Rosa, Matt Pearl, you've got
Matt Salvin,
and Ryan Ward also in. So basically, you have a full second team counting Sunarim here. And Sunarim will trigger the inbound. Salvin will get it. Stays in the backcourt, passes it to Pearl. Pearl's just going to dribble it around. And again, I don't think you're going to see East Brunswick put up a shot here. And they're not going to get themselves in any kind of trouble here. Double team. Sunarim. Ward. Rosa. 2 guys over there in the same area. Got to get some spacing here.
There's a travel there on Sunarim, and they didn't call anything. But
well, got bailed out by the fact that Cruz reached in. Picks up his 4th personal.
Anytime you switch your pivot foot, it's probably a travel.
Yeah. Matt Pearl to trigger the inbound here. Rosa's going to peel off the screen, double teamed on the baseline. Sunarim to Ward. Going to put up a floater, no good. Salvin's going to put up the rebound. But here comes Whipple. Whipple's going to bring it up.
hold off at this point. No reason in trying to
be a hero.
Right, exactly.
16 points for Whipple as we come down to the end. And that is the ball game. Your final score, East Brunswick 55, Old Bridge 42. Bears go to 6-2, Knights to 6-4 on this year. Well, a tale of two halves. You were saying during the break, the first half, that Old Bridge really owned the first quarter, and second quarter was probably a draw. But this second half, the Bears found it. Whatever it was, they needed.
All East Brunswick, and you look right there at the scoreboard, 3 team fouls for East Brunswick, and that was huge because they found ways to deal with Whipple. They found ways to deal with the interior play of the Knights, cut down on the fouls. It led to more transition for East Brunswick. That's how you win a ball game.
Yep, Matt Ross come up big here. Like I said, we had him for 19 points unofficially, leading the Bears. McNamara had a great first half, ended up with 12. And again, the Bears doing very well. Just again, a reminder that this game will be rebroadcast on Thursday, the 15th at 8 p.m. and Saturday, the 17th at 2 p.m. as well. It is available on demand at ebtv.org. I'd like to take this time to thank the EBTV technical crew for coming out. For John Alba, I'm Ken Saroka, wishing you all a good evening. Final score, East Brunswick 55, Old Bridge 42. Have a good night.